Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs.
Hi, my name is Joy Pappy. I am your 2025-2026 Steer Show Committee Chairman. I'd like to welcome all the returning participants that are showing in the show, and I'd like to welcome all the new ones. My phone number is 352-266-0054. If you have any questions or concerns about the Steer Show and Sell, if you would please give me a call. This does take a little bit of pressure off of Sarah because she's in charge of all the shows, not just the Steer Show. I'm going to touch on just a few rules that we have in our Steer Show. It is mandatory for you to go over all the general rules and the Steer Show rules. This is your responsibility, but I just want to highlight on a couple of them that we have. First off, we're going to go over the initial weigh-in rules that I'm going to just highlight on. All exhibitors must do a mandatory online training with a parent or a guardian by September the 16th. And all the entry forms will be completed online, must be turned in by then. Completing entry line indicates you agree and abide by all the rules pertaining to the 2026 Steer Show. Any steers entered in another show after initial weigh-in will be disqualified, ineligible for the show or the sale for the final show or sale. All steers must be bred and calved in the state of Florida, and the steers cannot be purchased through a public sale or auction. The Steer Show Committee reserves the right to review any entries and may excuse any steer or exhibitor due to misconduct from entry in the Steer Show and Sale. It is determined to be the best interest of the overall show and sale. This is to keep everyone safe as far as people, animals. Each exhibitor is required to submit a front and back and side photo printed in color of your 2026 Southeastern Youth Fair project. Date of the purchase. These photos will be submitted with the affidavit to the Steer Show Committee in the initial weigh-in. The notarized affidavit must be an original, not a copy. One thing I want to touch on, like I said, if you cannot make it to the initial weigh-in, it has to be approved by myself. So please contact me and let me know, and I'll have you on a list, and then a parent or a guardian can bring your steer up to the show. Make sure they have the affidavit and all the papers required for the steer. Also, the photos. You can do a photo like this. Please make sure you have the names of each photo of your steer, or you can do one online on your computer like this if you can't make it to the Photoshop. But please make sure that your name and your steer is on the picture. Okay, some more initial weigh-in rules that we're going to touch is it's highly recommended that you do be at the initial weigh-in, but if not, like I said, just make arrangements with myself. EID tags are to be in the steer's left ear. You don't need to call me about this because I had a bunch of calls last year. Left ear for the EID tags. The producer or the breeder is the one responsible for putting the EID tags in. If the steer shows up without an EID tag, the Steer Show Committee can put the steer tag in, but it will be a $5 charge. All right, now let's talk about some final weigh-ins. I want you to go through the rules. There's rules on back fat and pounds per day and the final weigh-in. Samantha Daly does have a video that she puts out later on about the weigh-in and how much and all the steers. And the reason this is for is because we're trying to have the best quality beef we can for our buyers. We have a very good steer buyers here at the Southeastern Youth Fair that pay a lot of money for these steers, and that's why these rules are in place. All steers must arrive with a maximum of 1/4 inch hair length, leaving only the tail switch. All steers must be sheared prior to the arrival at the final weigh-in. Clipping includes the head, body, underline, legs, above the knee, and hock, and 12 inches from the end of the bone of the tail. Steers will be checked at final weigh-in, and it will not be allowed to show if they have more than 1/4 inch off of hair anywhere. There's also the show day rules that I would like for you to go over. Like I said before, it is mandatory that you read all these rules and go over them for the general rules and the steer show rules. There's a few things that one problem that we had last year that I would like to go over is when it's load out time. Everybody's tired, they're ready to go home, but every steer has to be checked off with the person who's checking the tags off when they're loading their steers out. Last year there was one steer that got by, and there was quite a few people that were up to 3:30 or 4 o'clock till this steer was fine. So don't try to get out earlier by just bringing your steer in there. It has to be checked off at the gate before he is loaded on the trailer. And I want to go over one more time that my phone number is 352-266-0054, and I'm sure it'll be on the screen also. And I want to thank you for taking the time to look at the video. I want you to remember, mainly, be kind to everyone. If it's a first-time person showing, please help them out some. And always be very considerate and respectful to all the adults in this show. And may God bless you.
All right, here's some questions for you and Joey.
Oh, I'm reading them. Okay, the question is, what is your history with the Southeastern Youth Fair, and why do you volunteer as a show chairman? I was born and raised up into this youth fair. My dad showed his first steer here, and he grew up showing a steer. That's how he bought his first piece of property. So naturally, he started Angus Ranch, and when we were old enough to show, every one of us showed. And I kind of took a little bit more incentive than the boys did. I showed 2 steers a year. One time I showed 3 steers a year. I liked showing. And the reason I'm on the chairman, or I'm on this committee and now the chairman, is because it means a lot to me. We have grandkids and other kids that I adore in this community that's coming up, and they're into ag. I enjoy seeing people into ag. I enjoy seeing especially young kids coming up into ag, because we don't have that many, and it's very sad because, we need more, because we're the ones who feed the country. But that's my history. And what is your favorite thing about the show? My favorite thing about the show is just seeing how good the kids do. How much I enjoy seeing the kids that you can tell the kids that really put an effort in it, that their heart's in it, that they love it, and they understand it. And it's sad to see your steer go, but from the beginning what's going to happen to the steer, and you're learning more about agriculture every day. And what's your favorite thing about the Southeastern Youth Fair is just because it's open to the public, it's free, and it teaches about all kinds of agriculture, not just the steers, but there's so much here. I wish I knew how many events you could enter and everything. And even from the little kitty goat show, that I think is wonderful, because that's teaching them when they're so young. And I just think it's great for the public. There's, no rides and stuff with carnival and stuff. It's all about learning and being as a family. What is the biggest piece of advice you would give each parent watching this video? That's a tough one, because I would give the advice, whatever the child wants to do, let them do that. Don't do it through you. Make sure their heart and soul's in it, no matter if it's sewing, a pig, a steer, or anything. Just let them do it and help them, but let it be theirs. That's the main thing. I like it to be theirs, not the parent doing it, but theirs. That means a lot to me when I can see the child is the one who loves it and is doing it. If you had one message to give every first-time exhibitor, what would it be? No matter what exhibit you decide to do, whether it be from steers to photography to setting your dining room table, do it with your full heart. Do it with commitment. If you start something, finish it. Don't just start it and then get tired of it. Know that it's a commitment for that long. Do your homework on it and see what you can, and then do what you are able to do or what you enjoy doing the most. And what's your message to every senior about their last year showing? When it's your last year showing, it is a sad thing because, you've made so many friends and you've come across so many people and done so much with your life. Take it with you as you go on in life. All the things you have learned, all the respect you have learned, all the times you've helped people you've learned. Take this with you. Take this with you through life and apply it through your life as you get older. And always give back. Remember, we're here as a chairman, so join a committee and give back to the community and those next kids coming up. Thank you.